good morning. I'm here at the train station in historic downtown Durango, Colorado. It's very pretty here, the way the town is just nestled in between these mountain peaks. Very nice area. Today I'm here to take a 9.5-hour round trip from Durango to Silverton, Colorado on the historic 1880s narrow gauge railroad. On this trip, I'll be riding in an open-air gondola being pulled by a steam engine. It should be fun. The town of Durango, Colorado was first formed in the winter of 1880 by the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad. It was named after Durango, Mexico by railroad officials who either thought the area reminded them of Durango or simply they thought it sounded cool. Much like Edith May and I naming our first daughter East St. Louis. Durango was part of the railroad's concerted effort to reach the gold and silver mining district around Silverton, Colorado, roughly 50 miles up to the north. Today it has a population of around 70,000 people, with the narrow gauge railroad, its historic downtown, and numerous outdoor activities being its primary tourist draw. I absolutely love the place. At a top speed of 18 miles per hour, the narrow gauge railroad takes approximately 3.5 hours to cover the 45-mile distance from Durango to Silverton. During that 45-mile trip, the elevation will increase from roughly 6,500 feet above sea level in Durango to a little over 9,300 feet above sea level in Silverton. The railroad operates year-round with both regular to and from Silverton service in addition to numerous other seasonal tours. The trip I took was a 9.5-hour round trip, which is offered from May to October of each year. There are 4 different classes of service offered, ranging in price from $115 per person for the open-air gondola, which is the one I chose today, to $230 per person for the first class or presidential car ticket. Both taxes and parking are still required in addition to the price I just quoted. If you're looking to go to Silverton but don't want to take the train, an alternative method is the Million Dollar Highway. To make this drive, take US Highway 550 out of Durango. We are in downtown Silverton, former mining town. If you look up on the hill, you can see the remains of the tailings from the old mining days. A little over 9,000 feet. Very pretty. I don't know that there's a lot to do here. I got an hour and a half to kill. Main Street, so I guess we'll take a walk up Main Street. Number 1 on my list is to find a bathroom and maybe find something to eat. Nice view of the mountains outside. And I'd have to say on my initial walk around of Silverton, there's not a single thing I'm interested in seeing here. So I'm glad I'm only here for an hour. Here's another last look at the mountains outside of Silverton. Very pretty valley, very pretty. As far as the town goes, well, there's just not much to see or do. So, had like an hour and a half turnaround between the time we got here with the train and the time it's leaving, and to be real honest, there's not an hour and a half's worth of stuff to look at here. I ended up having a hot dog and fries and vanilla shake, and that was for the very reasonable price of $20. You know, if it only had every other store being a diamond store, it would remind you of one of those stops you make in Alaska on a cruise, where it's got 100 stores all owned by the same company and all carrying the same crap. But it is pretty, very pretty. So that wraps up Silverton. If you have a reason to come here, great. If you just say, well, I haven't been to Silverton, I think I'd choose again. There's just nothing to occupy your time. So that wraps up this segment. In all fairness to Silverton, today it's just a very small place. Its current population is under 700, and I believe most of them are only there during the summer. In addition, tourism and EPA environmental remediation, particularly of old mining waste, are the two leading employers in Silverton. Also, I was there on a Monday in late September, and over half of the shops and restaurants in town were closed. So be advised, while it's a very pretty place, there's just not much to do there and in Silverton, particularly if you come in by train. Well, we're on our way back to Durango, so it now seems like a good time to pass on some tips about this train. I was a little concerned about the ride in the open gondola, particularly about the weather. I packed for cold and rain, so naturally it turned out to be sunny and hot. So be prepared, dress in layers. Some stuff, like my raincoat, I carried for 9.5 hours and never got it out. But the open gondola was a great way to see all the sights. And if you're going round trip, make sure you book the same seat number for both trips. One side of the car does get a better view than the other. However, if you book the same seat, going up and back, you get a good view of both sides. Well, that about wraps up the Durango to Silverton narrow gauge railroad trip. I would give this excursion a 5 stars out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it, and hope you get a chance to take it.